안녕하세요. 알다시피 요즘에는 이 비타민 한국어 교과서는 인기가 많이 졌네요. 많이 졌네요. 그래서 여러분들이 저에게 비타민 한국어로 어떻게 공부하는지 물어봤어요. 아니면 비타민 한국어 내용을 어때요? 어떻게 생각해요? 어, 그래서 이 리뷰 비디오를 찍기로 결정했어요. 어, 이 영상을 통해 비타민 한국어 내용과 제 어떻게 생각하는지 알려줄게요. 자, 여러분 시작할까요? 시작할게. As you may know, if you follow me on Instagram, I have completed Vitamin Korean 2 and I have completed Vitamin Korean 3. So I have a fairly good grasp on the layout of these books, and I can let you guys know how I feel about them with more of an experienced view instead of just doing a couple chapters and giving a review. So yeah, let's get started. So the layout of the book is each book has 5 units. Each unit consists of 3 grammar points, 3 mini review sections, and then a big comprehensive review section. So, I'm just gonna jump right in and start giving you a pros and cons list of these books because that's really all I can do. I don't know how to do a review. This is my first review, so feedback is great. So first pro is there's many exercises. Each grammar point has 3 exercise questions, and then after every 3 grammar points, you can do a whole review section that has a speaking, writing, listening, and reading section. And then, like I said earlier, there's a 청리 section, which is like a comprehensive review of after each full unit. So 9 grammar points, 1 review section. It's a lot more comprehensive in Vitamin Korean 3 than Vitamin Korean 2. But then again, you have listening, reading, writing, and speaking. I personally don't do the speaking or writing because I study by myself, so I find them really confusing and difficult sometimes, and I can't get immediate feedback. So if I'm making mistakes, I don't really know, and it's not helpful. So I tend to skip them. Sometimes if the writing topic is a little more simple, I'll try, and then I'll upload for correction online. But I think when I go to start studying for TOPIK, I will work with a tutor and then go back through Vitamin Korean 3 and do the writing exercises. These are kind of TOPIK books, so there's 6 Vitamin Korean books, and each book corresponds to a TOPIK level, or supposedly. So like 1 is TOPIK 1, 2, like that. And so if I study for TOPIK 3 or 4, I think I will go back and do the writing exercises. Second pro is the amount of grammar you're given per book. So like I said, there's 5 units. Each unit has 3 subunits, so it'll be like 1-1, 1-2, and then each subunit has 3 grammar points. So if you multiply that, you get a number. I'm a language person, not a math person. And from what I can judge, the grammar is fairly useful. It is based kind of more on the TOPIK test sometimes, so there will be some things you won't really need. However, so far, the grammar that I learned, especially in Vitamin Korean 3, is grammar that I've been seeing everywhere. So I think if you're at like a lower intermediate level, Vitamin Korean 3 is the way to start. Also, when you learn a new grammar point, under each grammar there is a little like snippet of conversation, like an A says this, B says this. What I like about this is that these 3 conversation pieces that you learn each grammar point all tie together in the review section's dialogue. So you learn these grammar structures and then you see these bits of conversation, and then in the dialogue you can tie them all together and it makes more sense because you have a topic, which is your vocab, you have your grammar, which you've just learned, and then you can kind of tie it all together and really see how the grammar is like comprehensible. So that's one of the big pros for me. Third pro is the vocab section. In Vitamin Korean 3, the very first chapter's vocab will be a little off-putting. At least it was for me, and it was for one of my friends. It's a lot of like college-related vocab. However, don't let that discourage you because I actually think that the rest of Vitamin Korean's vocab is quite useful. They always divide it by topic, and there's always lots of pictures. I'm a very visual learner, so seeing like a vocab next to a picture really helps solidify it in my memory. So I really appreciate this kind of thing. This is not really a pro or con, but the audio files are fairly good. They're standard textbook audio files. They speak really slowly. It's just Seoul dialect. It's all normal, good audio files. You'll get a CD with the book, but also the publisher of these books has the audio files for free on their website. So you can also do it there if you don't have a CD player or a CD port in your computer. My pros were kind of, I numbered them, but I think they were all kind of wedged in there. So now let's jump into the cons. So I think every textbook has cons, so let's just be honest. So con number 1 is that the writing exercises can be a little confusing. Often in the 정리 section, especially in book number 3, they're often topic-based questions that the textbook itself didn't teach you. So they're like full essay-style questions. However, I really think this will be beneficial to work with a tutor. If you have a tutor, they can really help you, and then I think these writing exercises will be super helpful. Number 2, you do, for book 3 and up, they're in Korean. Korean only. So you kind of need a supplement grammar source. The explanations in Korean, they're okay, but they're just really short and brief. They don't tell you how to use things. They don't tell you any like special rules or like limitations. So you definitely need an extra grammar source. I just go online and use like KoreanTopic.com or like howtostudykorean.com. But I've heard a lot of people pair it with Korean grammar in use because the grammar points are the same. Yeah, so other than that, I like it as long as you're willing to supplement. So that's my pros and cons. I really feel like this review might be lacking. I just want to say that I truly love these books. When I moved to Korea, I bought book number 2 as a review because I found that when I was living in Canada, I wasn't using any kind of like Korean, like functional Korean, like directions, ordering food, all this kind of stuff. So I bought it so that I could review these things, and I loved it. The Vitamin Korean 2 is all in English. The exercises are in English. They're very easy to understand, lots of practice. However, book number 3 is all in Korean, so it is like a little bit more of an academic thing for me. But I just find myself genuinely enjoying studying with them. It's kind of challenging sometimes, but I really enjoy having a challenge when I study. And the grammar, like, I'm seeing it everywhere. It's a good level, and I really, really do enjoy these books. I haven't studied with Vitamin Korean 1, but my friend is studying with it right now, and she enjoys it. I did have a flip through. There's an extensive Hangul section, so you'll get lots of practice with Hangul and like writing and really learning the pronunciation. So I would also suggest Vitamin Korean 1 for beginners. There's lots of practice. If you're someone that really likes practice, you need to buy these books because there's so much practice. You will not be lacking. I also posted a story on my Instagram asking if you guys had any specific things you wanted to know, and I thought I would answer some of your questions. Someone asked, how do I think about the vocab? So I think I kind of mentioned this earlier. I think that most of it is useful. A lot of it is useful if you live in Korea, or if you're a student in Korea, or if you're interacting with Koreans on a daily basis. Maybe not daily, but like frequently. Like, it's a lot of functional Korean, especially in book 2, where it's a lot of like going to the post office, going to the supermarket, like buying things in stores. So I think the vocab is really functional if you live in Korea. Else asked, is because Vitamin Korean 3 and up is all in Korean, would I recommend it to someone who has never used an all Korean resource? I would say no, because the grammar supplement is needed. So the grammar is very short and the vocab is not that easy. So I mean, if you're willing to supplement with a different book, then go ahead. Because the questions, like the directions for the review questions and stuff, are all in Korean as well, but they're fairly quite easy to understand. But yeah, maybe not, unless you're comfortable with supplementing. But if you want a resource that you can just use 100% in Korean, then no, I wouldn't recommend this. And then someone else asked, are these books too similar to Korean grammar and use? And I'm gonna say no. They have a lot of the same grammar points, but that's just because they're both broken down by topic level. However, Korean grammar and use is really just a grammar resource. It's just kind of like an encyclopedia of grammar that you don't really, or you shouldn't really study with as a main resource. However, I think Vitamin Korean is a lot more comprehensive because you have all that extra practice. So you have like your grammar, you have your vocab, you have your exercises, you have your review section. So Vitamin Korean is a lot more comprehensive. However, I think it would be helpful to use Korean grammar and use to supplement the grammar explanations in Vitamin Korean. Yeah. Last question I will answer is, are the Vitamin Korean books good to use for their workbook section? And I would say yes. I really do enjoy doing their workbooks, or their work review sections and stuff. There's lots of practice, lots of things for you to keep you busy while you're studying, and lots of ways to reinforce what you've been learning. Because of this, I do think that Vitamin Korean has a great workbook section. Okay, so I'll wrap it up here. I'm really sorry if there's it's kind of all over the place or a bit of a mess. I did plan a lot, but I don't think I planned the layout as much as I wanted to. I'm sorry about that. If I'm missing anything, I'll put it down in the description because this is my first review video. Please forgive me. I really want to express my love for these books, but I get a little mind jumbled. I did write everything down. So like, this is my Vitamin Korean review list. However, I still think it may be a little lacking. But everyone's been asking for this and I really wanted to deliver. If you have any more questions, please leave a comment, or message me on Instagram. I'm always active on Instagram. And if you wouldn't mind, please like or subscribe. I want to start creating more language content for you guys, and it'd be great if I could have your support. So yeah, everyone, I hope you have a good week, because I think by the time I post this it will be Sunday. It's currently Friday. I have to go to work in like an hour. But yeah, I hope you have a good weekend, and please Let me know if you like this video, and if you want to see more videos, subscribe. Bye everyone.